Welcome to another edition of State Champs Hockey Time. I'm Jonathon Kidd, along with Sean Baligian. Sean, we're on location today at the Kennedy Recreation Center in Trenton for the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase.
Oh, it's been outstanding so far. There's more action to be had here today, but John, I always have to say this, the people down here in Trenton, unbelievable. I mean, starting with the Trenton coaching staff and all the people that they have here volunteering their time and taking care of the food and everything, just unbelievable. I mean, there's a reason why we call it the premier tournament. It is. There's no mistake about that.
Fig Newtons on Thursday night, the food man.
Listen, I love Fig Newtons. I Fig Newtons like remind me of being a kid. I mean, they're outstanding. So they had Fig Newtons out here, and they didn't have Fig Newtons out here for long because I know a guy that ate about 52 of them.
So State Champs Hockey Time is presented by our friends at the Alta Equipment Company. And Sean, look at the backdrops here.
This is awesome. No, I think it's great that, Alta came up. I mean, they always come up big, but they came up big here, and so many people just stopping by and saying hello, and they enjoy the show and everything, John, and that means the world. Thank you. It's the kids are the story, but thank you for the kind words coming our way, to be sure.
And all of our State Champs programming is brought to you by Lawrence Technological University. The LTU hockey team's out here recruiting this weekend as well.
It was great to see them, and obviously Coach Gaffney's such a great guy, and they've done a wonderful thing promoting the sport the way that they have as well. So continued success to the Blue Devils.
All right, you can recruit yourself at ltuathletics.com. So Sean, we were remote last week, so we weren't able to do the beanie challenge. So over here, I have a nice pile of beanies. So I just want to let you know right before we start this, they require at least 10 to 15 seconds of you wearing the hat.
All right.
Before you change it, But,
okay, all right.
But here we go. So this is from the last 2 weeks. So
oh boy,
we're going to start off with the Chelsea Bulldogs.
Look at that. That's nice. Thank you, Chelsea. Go Bulldogs, right? Get my little ball up there. Thank you very much, Chelsea.
All right, South Lyon Unified.
Oh, look at that. One of the best locker rooms in the league. You've been out there. Great locker room. I really like the logo, so go SLU.
All right, we got a skull cap from Canton.
Oh, look at the Chiefs. That's pretty cool. I like that. Look at that. I got to put this on. Hold on.
Yeah, Justin Maydell's doing a great job over there.
He sure is. Go Chiefs, right?
All right, from the Lansing area, Capital City Capitals, Joe Ford.
Joe Ford and gang, absolutely. Look at this. Go Caps, right? Get my little ball up there. Go Caps.
All right, so here's all of our here's the collection from the MIHL Showcase. We're going to start off with Liggett. It's just a hat, but it still counts, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? One of the parents walked up and handed this to me, and I gleefully accepted it. And, I said, John Kidd likes to make fun of me, and here we are. So there you go. Go Knights, right? I always got to get that out there. Go Knights.
Doug Woods in our Player of the Year.
He's pretty good. Yeah. More on him in a second. He's pretty good.
All right, from the west side of the state, Grand Rapids, Forest Hills, Northern Eastern.
Look at that. That's pretty cool. Nice to see those guys again.
The Kings, the Kings.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Nice to see those guys out here for sure.
All right, another team from the west side of the state, Grand Rapids Catholic Central.
I love that logo. I've always been a fan of that logo. I like their color combination. Go Cougars, right?
Yeah.
Go Cougars.
Yeah, they had a good win. We'll be talking about that in a little bit as well. All right, from the UP, Houghton.
Heck of a game today. Oh.
Big H on that one.
Look at that. Heck of a game today. Thank you, Coach Markham. Johnny, that was a fun game today. The Gremlins and OLSM, back and forth game. Houghton ends up winning, but two outstanding teams in Division III, so go Gremlins.
All right, from the KLAA, Rocky Johnson was ready for you to put this on from Howell.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ian Badgett and company, that's a good team. Look at that, go Highlanders, right? There you go.
And then right before we started taping, Grosse Pointe South dropped this off for you.
How cool is that? Thank you, Blue Devils. And it was funny because I won't say his name, but he goes, what'd you think? Yeah. How about that? We'll give you that. So that's another team to be reckoned with, no doubt. Just a really good team. Jake Spitz, obviously a tremendous player. He's on our watch list, so thank you.
Another Grosse Pointe school.
We're going to be here forever.
I know. This is going to be our show. Here he is. Grosse Pointe North. Come on.
The Norseman.
We got more. We still got more to do, so we got to keep it going.
Barbecue Mike coached there for a while, so go Norseman. Jeez, oh Pete.
All right, Traverse City Central.
Oh, class act, Coach Givens. Look at that.
No, thoughts and prayers out to the Givens family.
No doubt about it. Had a chance to talk to him. Nice win. He told me a great story about how, in case you missed it, he lost his mother a few days ago, and he said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this losing his mother. And he said his boys really picked him up. And I'll tell you what, on and off the ice as well. So congratulations, no doubt, to the Trojans. And that's a beaut. Thank you.
All right. The Hawks from Saginaw Heritage, and you're going to be a coach now.
All right. I'm sitting next to Coach Bamberger. Yeah. Thanks, JJ and the Heritage Hawks. Appreciate them. They got another one later on today, so go Hawks.
All right, another one from the Upper Peninsula.
Are we done yet?
Nope, we are not done yet. How about the Kings from Calumet?
It's nice to see those. It's nice to see the Copper Kings come down. This is a beauty. Look at that. Yeah. It looks like snake skin in there, so go Copper Kings. Appreciate seeing you guys as always.
All right. Trenton. I live here now. The last couple years, I saved it for last.
Yeah, Trenton Trojans. Great guys on staff. Got a chance to talk to Coach Chad and Coach Knighting, so go Trojans.
Actually, I got one more for you. It's the last one. Alta Equipment Company, said that, you haven't had a new one in a couple years, so here you go.
Oh, you know what? And I appreciate that. I love wearing this.
So
go Alta, yep. Right? Go Alta, we can say that.
So, but for this week's show, we'll let you wear the Montreal Canadiens skull hat and explain to the viewers why.
I'm a big Habs fan. I know people remind me all the time they stink, right?
Yep.
What am I supposed to do, quit being a fan? Yep. So, no, absolutely. So I'll put that back on, but thank you guys. Thank you very much.
So, all right, so let's talk about the MIHL Showcase here for a little bit. So what intrigued you over the last few days?
As I said, I think this morning there were a couple just beautiful games. You had Houghton and Orchard Lake St. Mary's. I thought that was a fantastic game. Houghton came away, but I hear Brother Rice and Mona Shores was outstanding. And, I had a chance to talk to Coach Benedict earlier. John, we've been on Mona Shores all year, since before they even dropped the puck. And you know what? That team is getting her done right now. That is going to be a team that is capable of beating anybody. I heard Heartland, Gabriel Richard was outstanding. Big win for Coach Gadwa and Heartland. But, John, there are so many good games going on at the same time. And it doesn't matter what rink, the two rinks up front, the rink in the back. This is just, look, if you're a high school hockey fan in any way, shape, or form, this is where it's at.
Yeah, we had some good ones on Thursday. Liggett, they beat Howell, and then, Salem over Midland Dow, in the shootout. Alex Mazuka he didn't quite do the Forsberg, but, it was still a great shootout goal to win it.
Well, let's start with Liggett and Howell. That was a tremendous game, kind of get things going, and Doug Wood got a chance to score. I thought Ian Badgett, two of the guys on our list, played very well. The Salem story is great to me because, John, for the benefit of people out there that don't know, they pulled up about 15 minutes before they were supposed to play. Now, why were they late? Their bus got stuck.
Yeah, the snow was a little bad.
Yeah, the snowstorm came here. It wasn't, quite the big snowstorm that everybody talked about. So these boys had to go out, help get their bus out. Then they had to play a darn good team from Midland Dow. Billy Van Summeren, we've talked so much about him, rightfully so. He had a hat trick. But Salem pushes a bus out, gets here, takes the ice, and wins the game in a shootout. A sweet little backhand by Alex Mazuka. So those guys, I said it on Twitter, those Rocks became legends.
And then on Friday, Grand Rapids Catholic Central, they took a tough loss on Thursday to Grosse Pointe South. They rebounded with a win over UAD Jesuit. And that Brighton-Houghton game, Brighton was up 3-0. Houghton came back to tie it up, and Brighton, scored late in the game to win 4-3.
Two teams that wear the orange and black that are very capable of ending up in USA Hockey Arena in the two different divisions. Division 1, obviously, for Brighton. Division 3 for Houghton. I've been saying this for weeks. I think Kirk Cavistol's got something special at Brighton right now. I would
It's
look
Brighton.
out for Brighton. Yeah, no doubt. And the sophomores, his super sophomores that he has, every time I see these kids, they get better. So a nice win there over a very good Houghton team.
We're taping this show on Saturday afternoon. There's still games going on, but as we started taping the show, it was right after that CC Marquette game, and wow, Marquette tied it up at 2 late in the game, and then CC comes right back to win it 3-2.
Well, I mean, it's the heart of a champion. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to tell you, Marquette is rock solid, and they can beat anybody in Division II. They can beat anybody in Division II. I mean that. I was really, really impressed by Marquette. I had a coach tell me point blank he thinks the best team that he's seen is Marquette. So I was interested in seeing them because I didn't get a chance to get out to Chelsea last week to see them, but they are as advertised. That's a darn good team.
State Champs Hockey Time is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Officials are needed, people. Become an official. Go to MHSAA.com for details. Help wanted, just whistle.
And welcome back to Hockey Time here on the State Champs Network. We are in Trenton for the MIHL Showcase. Very honored to be joined by, I know he's going to blush when I say this, but he's a legend. He's become a friend of mine as well. Let's give it up for Jimmy Young kindly joining us. First of all, Jim, nice to see you again. It's been too long, my friend.
Well, I think a couple years, huh? And Sean, who paid you to say all those nice things about me? Are you getting a payoff here or something? But anyway, thanks. I appreciate it dearly.
I told you. He was going to. No, you know what's funny, Jim, is every time somebody from down our way goes up north, inevitably I'll hear from one of the coaches. And I'm not going to put any on the spot right now, but I'll hear from one of the coaches, what a great guy. Had a chance to have a soda with Jim after the game. What a great guy. But no, this is one of those things, Jim. You've been doing this for how many years? Tell everybody about your background calling games up there.
Well, first off, I'm 63 years old, so you're asking tough questions. I'm probably 25 years close to it, doing it full time, and I just have a passion for hockey. I love the game. And I'm thinking I'm not going to drop any names, but probably could be Rick and Kenny maybe who mentioned something, but great guys. But it just, and I mentioned a couple years ago, hockey, the bloodlines with hockey, even being here, the games are secondary, seeing everybody like yourself, Jonathon. I mean, I was here probably 20 minutes, and I talked to people I haven't seen probably in 10 years, and one guy came up to me and said, "Are you Jim?" I said, "Yeah, I won." But it's a really neat family, like we mentioned the last time we talked.
It definitely is. You know, it's interesting because you talk to people, whether it be some of the coaches up there, some of the fans up there, a broadcaster like yourself, and we've all gotten to the point where I feel like you're living a mile away from me, a couple miles away from me, how much we have a conversation. That's the cool thing about this community here with the high school game.
Wow, especially the way and what you guys have done with State Champs Network. You really put it on a grid with little segments like this. We never had that. We had guys like myself just kind of in the trenches doing it regionally. You folks have put it on the grid statewide. Then you got I don't want to use those dinosaurs like myself coming in, but we come in handy sometimes. But the whole, and I've said for a long time, high school hockey, no disrespect to the other high school sports. High school hockey has kind of separated itself as an elite sport, especially when you look at the travel involved with teams during the regular season. I'm not talking in the playoffs. We've had Brighton, Jesuit, Cranbrook, Novi, Heartland, Brother Rice. I'm missing a handful. A couple weeks ago, I did a Bayport game out of Wisconsin. But it's just, and then I look at the scores throughout the tournaments you guys have down here and the Kensington thing that me and Rick Godwood talk about quite often. He wants me to come down one of these days, and I said, I'll send you an invoice, but we'll talk about it. And that's something I'm seriously thinking about doing. But it's really become kind of a universal family. And I tell a lot of people who don't even like hockey, you ever get a chance to come to this event, I enjoy this more in Plymouth. Because you know you're here 2 days, you're going to see I'm going to do 3 games, you'll probably watch about 10 combined. But this whole Trenton Showcase has a real it's fun, it's just fun, no other way to say it.
Jim Young kindly joining us here. And, Jim, let's talk about some of the teams, because I say this all the time on the show, and you're living proof of this. I would love to sit here and say that I know everything about every team. It is virtually impossible to get out and see these teams. So this is what's important, talking to a guy like Jim that sees these teams so many times. Let's start with Hancock. I think it's such an illustrious history for Hancock. You can tell they're building their way back up. For people that aren't accustomed to what the Hancock Bulldogs are about, what do they got?
Well, Scott Mickens in his second year rebuilding, but keep in mind, Hancock lost to Calumet in a holiday tournament in overtime. I did a Hancock-Calumet game 3 nights ago. They lost 3-0. They outshot Calumet 33-12. One name, Axel Locust. But if you take Hancock a little bit lightly, you're going to be in some, because they're playing airtight defense. Their goaltending's coming around a little bit. They're not favored, but that's a team I know Corey Markham and Dan Giacchino probably don't want to see in that first round.
Well, let's go to the Copper Kings. You mentioned Axel Locust. Of course, he's up for the Wall Award as the best in the state. I think people know about him now, not only the family lineage, but he's making a name for himself. Jackson Riley up front. What jumps out to you about the Copper Kings?
Dynamic, and they have a knack for years. Go back to the legendary Jim Crawford. They can close games. If it's close, coming down the stretch, they have finishers. Not the school itself, their tradition is so rich, but you've got a Jackson Riley, a Tommy Urkela, an Axel Locust. They know how to close games. I'll go 2 games. The Marquette Calumet game, Calumet won 1-0. Got outshot, I think, 40-something to 14 or 17. The Hancock game, like I mentioned. But when you're watching the game, if you give them an opening, 9 out of 10, they're going to make you pay. And again, they're not as deep as what they've been, but Jackson Riley is an elite player. I mean, no two ways about it. You got a goaltender that can physically steal a game.
Let's talk about the Gremlins a little bit. One of the things, we talk about it so often on the show with John Kidd. Jim, when teams play a Coach Markham team, they say they know they played a Coach Markham team. They play a certain style, and there's a little flair up front by a young man with the last name of Markham as well.
And you said one word, team. The structure, it's solid. One of Corey's fortes over the years, and I've noticed it years ago, if you watch and look at all his box scores, they try to minimize the other guy 20, 23 shots a game, which they do. But the system, fundamentally sound, systematic hockey. His son Camden, very quietly, if you look at the score, at the stat line, he's close to 45, 50 points. And you're not playing weak sisters of Mary, I guess I want to say here. But, I mean, and the 51-minute, it's a 51-minute war when you play Houghton, and everybody that plays them will tell you that. I don't care if it's the guys in our backyard, Ricky Godwa, Kirk Kivish, anyone. When you play Houghton, you better strap it up, because it's old school blue-collar hockey, and not many teams are going to beat them mentally. And again, they don't have the dynamic team they've had in the past, but they really haven't had that in a while. But they're just solid, top to bottom. You really can't tell the difference from the first to third line, although there's a little separation with Camden and Carlson and Stevens and a couple others, but just solid. Goaltending isn't what he's had in the past, though, but that's starting to come around down the stretch as well.
He's one of the best in the business. I know he's going to blush again, but I'll tell you what, I love chatting with this guy. Hey, have a couple of great calls. It's great to see you, my friend, and I know we'll see each other in about a month as well at USA, but tell Lorraine we said hello.
Okay.
Hi, Lorraine. Always nice to see you as well.
Especially this time, a little bit more joyous this time.
All right, he's Jim Young. I'm Sean Baligian. This is State Champs.
I'm Elizabeth Kuhn, and Hockey Time is brought to you by the Detroit Medical Center's Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine team. We've got a whole new crop of game changers coming up in the new year, including some interesting quizzes packed with information you need to know. Head on over to dmc.org/gamechangers for more information.
All right, it's time now for our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year. And Sean, all of our top 10 played at the MIHL Prep Hockey Showcase this weekend.
Yeah, outstanding. It really was. I mean, so many guys that, you watch them and you say, well, now you understand why they're on the list. And so many guys where you sit back and you go, boy, I wish I could expand this list. I mean, there's a ton of talented players. I mean, a plethora, if you will, of talented players all around the state. But the guy we're going to talk about, Billy Van Summeren from Midland Dow, I think people were talking about his size, and they were also talking about his hands. This is a guy that people started talking about him in the summertime, and a few coaches reached out to me in the fall and said, this guy's got to be on your list. John, we've said it once, we've said it 100 times. What you do on the big stage counts, and this is a guy that had a hattie against a darn good Salem team. Dow's been ranked, Salem's in the rankings. This is a kid that has a bright future ahead of him, and to perform on the biggest stage the way he did, it shows again why he deserves a spot on our list.
You can cast your vote for Billy and the rest of the top 10 at our website at statechampsnetwork.com. And that was our Warrior Hockey Player of the Year. Joining us now on Hockey Time is the marketing director at the Alta Equipment Company, Scott Sebastian. And Scott, welcome to Hockey Time.
Awesome, thanks for being here.
Well, first off, just thank you for your support. Thank you for being the presenting sponsor for Hockey Time.
No, let me tell you, it's so great to see so many people in this building and teams coming down from the UP all the way down in Toledo. For a lot of kids, this is really their Super Bowl. And for us to be a part of it is really important because I know how important high school hockey was for me when I played decades ago. And the experience that these kids have, thanks to you guys and all the publicity that you give them, you and Sean do an amazing job. We're just happy to be able to support you guys and support this great sport.
Tell the viewers, what is the Alta Equipment Company?
Alta Equipment Company is really the premier equipment company in the Midwest and in the South now. I came here 4 years ago from Florida. I came out of NASCAR, and we were 4 stores in 1 state. Now we're publicly traded, 8 states, 36 or 37 locations, about 50 OEMs that we represent. Everything from big earth-moving iron to compact aerial, everything in between. We've got 7 locations in the state of Michigan. So everybody that watches this great show and all the great work that you do on social media, we're probably in your town selling iron, moving iron, renting iron, servicing iron. So amazing company.
And just talk about quickly why you and Alta Equipment want to get involved with high school hockey here in Michigan.
It's really the demographics. Well, first of all, we love hockey. The founder of our construction division, a great friend of mine who passed away a year and a half ago, we actually played on Richard in the mid-'80s. So it's true to our heart. And Robbie Childs is actually on Richard's team. Just a great sport. When you start playing in rinks like this at 4 years old, it just gets your soul. And when there was a need to help you guys out, to give back, and that's really what we're doing. Yeah, we can sell iron and rent iron and service iron, but we have the ability to give back to a great sport, to a great program, and that's why it's really important for us.
Yeah, it seems like the student section at these hockey games enjoying those helmets, these Alta Equipment Company hard hats, are constructing champion zones.
It is. It's a funny tagline that we came up with, and again, the experience that these kids have from 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, it lasts a lifetime for them. And when you create an event like this and you cover this amazing sport throughout the state like you guys do, it's just small gestures that we like to be able to make that environment on the ice and in the stands for the kids, and it's really taken off, and it's fun to see those guys wearing those white Alta helmets during the game.
And you were once a coach.
Yes.
In the high school scene at Riverview Gabriel Richard. Talk about that run back in 2003 when you guys made it all the way to the state final.
Yeah, it was an amazing run. I just ran into Brian Dallas last week, and we were talking about, in fact, that whole run that we had. And we only won 4 games in the regular season. We were just getting drilled in the Metro League. And a great friend of mine, Kyle Kirkpatrick, was coaching Allen Park. We sat down and watched some tape, and he says, why don't you think about doing this? And we changed our entire system going into February. And I think we knocked off the 2nd and 3rd ranked team. We beat Groseal here 5-4 to win the regional. And then the game that everyone still talks about, the 0-3 game at Richard versus Divine Child, triple overtime. Won on a power play breakaway, ran center opposite, swung them through, and just Brett Sullivan, I'll never forget it, showed it, pulled it, roofed it, and there were more people in the rink at 12:30 at night than there were at 8 o'clock. So if anyone's got the tape of that game, we'd love to see it, because back then everyone was running out of either the beta tape or the VHS, and we can't find the entire game, but it was it was a fun run. I'm so proud of Ricky. He's done an amazing job after I left in 2005, building this program and making it a state power. He's got a real shot at D3 this year. But I tell you what, if there's a division that is competitive, it's D3. There's 5 teams that can win it right now.
Well, thank you very much, Scott, for taking the time
All right, John.
on Hockey Time, and thank you for all your support.
Call us whenever you need something.
For more than 25 years, the greatest honor a Michigan high school student athlete can earn, the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's High School Athlete of the Year. You're one of the tops in your sport. Prioritize education and giving back, like Cassius Winston, Megan Bobian, Rakia Jackson, and Aiden Hutchinson did. 6 male and 6 female nominees earn $1,000 of scholarship money, with $5,000 each to be awarded at an amazing red carpet gala in downtown Detroit in June. Nominations accepted through March 4th, but know this, you cannot be nominated if you don't apply. Download the application today at dacathleteoftheyear.com.
All right, it's time now for our Wall Award update, brought to you by our friends at Warrior Hockey. And Sean, we are going to be making a change into our top 10, and who's going to be our newest entry?
Well, John, I always said it means more when an opposing coach talks you up, and a couple guys brought this guy up to us. How about Nick Kurdiak from Flint Powers? We've been talking about Powers so much, and rightfully so. They've got it going up front. They've got a really good defense core. But the anchor back there is this young man. He's got a 140 goals against average. He's got a high save percentage, and he is a big reason why Flint Powers is one of the teams to beat in Division III.
Congratulations to Nick, and you can vote for Nick and the rest of our top 10 at our website at statechampsnetwork.com. And that was our Wall Award update, brought to you by our friends at Warrior Hockey.
I'm Elizabeth Kuhn, and State Champs Hockey Time is brought to you by High Sticks. Is your hockey team looking for new jerseys or apparel? The founders of High Sticks have a mission to design and create top-of-the-line jerseys for player comfort and style. Contact High Sticks at highsticks.com. They are ready to outfit your team in new jerseys and team apparel. Now we go back to Jonathan and Sean as they preview the week ahead in high school hockey.
There's some great matchups, and how about on Wednesday, Saginaw Heritage taking on Flint Powers?
Well, if we haven't said enough about Powers, let me add to it. Phenomenal team, and anybody that has seen them now maybe agrees with what I've been saying for a while. They are as legit as anybody out there. I think Coach Travis Perry has one of the best teams anywhere, regardless of division, and it's another reason why Division III is going to be so intriguing. Saginaw Heritage, JJ always finds a way. He really does. It's a young team, this young Hawk team, but they're starting to come together. It'll be interesting to see what they can do in the Division I ranks.
And just talk quickly about that game between De La Salle and Flint Powers on Friday night. That was a back-and-forth 3-2 game.
It's always a good game when the opposing coach greets you with a smile and says, wasn't that a great game? Yep. And Sean Clark's a great guy anyway, but Coach Clark he just smiled and he goes, wasn't that a great game? And that's what it's all about. De La Salle, still to me, John, they might be the team to beat in Division III. Powers right there with them, and Powers obviously has the bragging rights right now, but how do you pick a favorite in Division III? That's how crazy things are right now in D3.
All right, on Wednesday, it's part 3 of Heartland and Livonia Stevenson, and this is for the KLAA title.
Well, Ricky's got his boys going right now. Make no mistake about that, and give credit to the Spartans as well. Spartans, they had the big win streak, and then Heartland beat them, but they bounced back nicely. Look, when Stevenson and Heartland get together, you know the drill. You know it's going to be a tight game. You know that it can be a flip of a coin.
Jackson Lumen Christi taking on Chelsea. We got to talk about Lumen Christi. They're in that mix there that could make a run in Division III.
Absolutely. Both of those teams, Lumen Christi has been in our rankings already this year. Chelsea, a couple times we've had them right there on the outside looking in. Obviously, McIntyre is such a tremendous player out in Chelsea. That's going to be one that I'm going to be intrigued to see the final of that one. Thank goodness for Twitter, and so many of these teams are, putting the scores on there and everything.
Actually, this game is on Friday afternoon. Midland Dow is going to the west side of the state to take on Byron Center.
Yeah, great matchup, no doubt. I mean, two teams that, are I don't know, maybe flying under the radar a little bit, capable of pulling off big games. I think everybody remembers the run Byron Center made. When you got a player the caliber of Van Sumeren, you're always dangerous every single night. That'll be a dandy.
On Saturday, we have Livonia Churchill going on the road to the M1 Griffins.
Yeah, two teams that have been in our rankings that, Churchill, obviously so much of their goaltending you talk about with Price. This M1 team has some talent on it. I've been saying I think Coach Fox has done a fantastic job out there. Good test for both.
We're going to talk about Livonia Stevenson again. They're going to be taking on Detroit Catholic Central at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
Well, that's another special game, no doubt about it. This one will be in Livonia. So many of these guys grew up playing against one another, playing with each other. So nice afternoon game at Eddie Edgar Arena. One of the best in Division I. I still think the best in the state, taking on one of the best in Division II and one of the best teams in the state as well.
And finally, in the MIHL, we have Brother Rice going on the road at Cranbrook.
Brother Rice is starting to come together, and I'm telling you, anybody that wants to count out the Division II defending champion is out of their mind. I think they've got the goaltending. Rosa is obviously one of the best players in the state right now. Cranbrook, they also have something to say to the rest of Division III when you're talking about who might win. Oh, remember us, we're the defending champions. So that'll be a fantastic matchup. A good primer is, John, we get closer to the playoffs.
I love it when we go on location that we're away from the State Champs studios. We like these,
Yeah, and everybody's so nice. It really, I can't stress that enough. It's so nice when people, walk up and say hello, and you see so many, familiar faces and some new faces as well. But, John, it's just great for the hockey community. And once again, I cannot say enough about the tremendous people out here in Trenton. Thank you for your hospitality and for everything out here. This is just a fantastic time.
And another special thanks out to our presenting sponsor of Alta Equipment Company.
Yeah, I can give Alta another shout out. Are you kidding me? Look at the beautiful signage. They're out here watching the games as well. I mean, they're fans, John. That's the beauty of this. So John Watson does so many things behind the scenes as well. We appreciate him. And I say it all the time. It was funny. I was talking to Chad Clements the other night. You don't even know this happened, right?
Uh-oh. So this is where I got to hide?
You don't have to hide. I have something for you in a second, too. Okay. Don't let me forget. Where did I put that? Did I give it to you already?
No, not yet.
I'll give it to you in just a second. But so Chad is watching you run around like a chicken with your head cut off. And I looked at Chad and I go, I told you he does everything. And he was like, okay, I see it now. And I was like, he does everything. Our buddy, Jim Friel, from Catholic Central, they own Friel's Market up in Tawas.
Okay.
Wanted me to give you some meat sticks.
Oh, cool.
Because you're always giving me things. I thought I'd give you some things.
I love some meat.
Welcome to the Meat Club.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Absolutely. So thank you again, Trenton, and thanks to all the teams out here for putting on a fantastic show.
All right, so that's it for another edition of State Champs Hockey Time. So, Sean, what do you have to say?
We'll see you at the rink.
State Champs Hockey Time is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Also presented by Alta Equipment Company, Michigan's #1 construction equipment provider with over 40 brands. Get the right equipment for your project every time. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Hockey Coaches Association. For all things Michigan High School hockey, go to the Hub, MIHSHockeyHub.com. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Detroit Medical Center, Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. Warrior Hockey. And by High Sticks. Is your hockey team looking for new jerseys or apparel? Contact High Sticks at hystyx.com. They are ready to outfit your team in new jerseys and team apparel.